So I remember when you came to the Rabbitohs, I think it was 1988, was that right?
Yeah, 88 was my first year.
And I was there in 87, and I know I've told you the story before, but this bloke turned up at training at, where was it? Centennial Park. And I think you had a Mo and a singlet on, and I thought, who's this bloke? Where does he come from? And then I think that year you scored the most tries in the NRL.
Well, no, second behind Blakey, but
Yeah,
look, to be honest, mate, I'll tell you, big motivation for me coming up that year. I'd been graded a few times with South. I actually got graded in 81 with South out of SG Ball, and Bill Anderson was the first grade coach, and I thought I was too young to be playing, so I was only just going to turn 17, and I'd have been on the same side as Tugger and Mario and everyone, but I pulled out, and then for various reasons after that, I kept pulling out. I got graded again in 83 and stopped, didn't play with South, went and played with East, and graded again in 85, but said to him, look, I think we can win the President's Cup, so I went back and played President's Cup. We got beaten in the final by Penrith, 86. We beat Penrith in the under-23s grand final. But look, to be honest, and I'm not trying to bash your ego, but you were a big part of me coming to South in 88. I watched that game in 87 at the cricket ground. I don't mean to bring up bad memories for you, sorry about that.
That's
but
all right.
you know, I'd watch you throughout the year, and you done nothing wrong, and I was envious of you. You know, I watched you score that try at Redfern Oval where you made the big swan dive, and I thought, I'm a better footballer than he is. I should be up there too. Like, if he can do it, so can I. So, and then in 87, you know, the last game for you in 87 wasn't one of your better games, but I knew in mine, you're a better footballer than that, and yeah, so that was a big motivation for me to go to South in 88. Watching what happened here, thinking, well, look, Mavo's a better footballer. I've watched him throughout all of 87. He scored some great tries. I'd love to be able to play on Redfern Oval in front of a full house, and so yeah.
And then I think you made your debut in 88. Do you remember that?
Yeah, my first grade run on. I actually played in the last Charity Shield game at Redfern. I was in a run on side that night. Michael Blake was late to training, so I got called up. But my first grade debut run on was against Illawarra. When they were Illawarra at the old football stadium. I think it was about round 3 or 4.
Yep.
That was my first grade debut. I actually scored a try in that game.
Scored a try on debut. And what were you, 25-year-old or something like that?
I was 24.
24 years. So you're a bit of a Cody Walker, late bloomer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've exploded onto the scene.
Yeah. Come on a bit late, but you know, it was better late than never. It was big motivation for me to prove to everyone at Larpa, you know, like that I can do it. We had another young bloke from Larpa playing at that time, a young bloke by the name of Graham Lyons, who played State of Origin. And sorry, Chunky, I should have mentioned you too when I was talking about the good footballers that come out of Larpa. He was the last bloke to play State of Origin, but Graham being there, that was a big motivation as well as Steve, and just wanting to prove to the people of Larpa that, yeah, I can do it, you know. Like, they give me a nickname, and I wanted to try and live up to that nickname. And
that nickname is Too Good Bruce.
Yeah.
2GB.
So I tried to live up to that, and, you know, like...
Well, mate, I think you did.
I hope I did. I ended up playing about 50 first grade games, so I was pretty happy with that.
And you want to be happy to score one try or play one game, and you've done a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, loves the camera. Nothing's changed, has it?
Hey, easy through.
So I'm here with former Rabbitoh Bruce Longbottom. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good day, Steve. Good, mate. Good.
The old Rabbitohs flyer. You used to know your way to the try line, didn't you?
Oh, mate, it was part of it, the game, wasn't it? That was our job, was to score tries, and playing in the back line that we played at South, it was running off Paulie Roberts and Craig Coleman. It was easy to score tries. They hit you in the chest every time.
Yeah. And you're a bit of a late bloomer, but you must have always had a knack to score tries as a young fella.
Well, it was one thing I loved doing on a footy field, Steve. I'm old enough now to admit that I wasn't the greatest tackler on the field, but I knew my way to the try line, and it was just something I loved doing. I loved scoring tries, and I had the speed that it was natural ability that I had at the young age, and plenty of speed, and yeah, easy.
Oh, that's beautiful. Right at it. Where are you from, and what was it like growing up there?
Mate, I was born, bred and raised in Larpa. Look, I'm short, Steve. Born, bred and raised in Larpa. Great spot to grow up. I still call myself a Larpa boy now, even though I'm living up here in Port Macquarie, which is another great spot. But I've been up here 23 years. I still classify myself as a Larpa boy. I suppose, you know, it's like yourself, Steve. You can take your boy out of Larpa or Botany, as in your case, but you'll always belong to that suburb or that area. And
correct.
And it was, you know, Larpa was just a great place to grow up, surrounded by salt water. A lot of good sportsmen come out of Lapa. Had the Ellas come out of there, Russell Fairfax in the early days. Eric Sims is another great Laparoos player. Kevin Longbottom, another famous South player. So, yeah, it was a great place to grow up and meet a lot of nice people.
Yeah, and you've gone from one beautiful part of the world to another up here at Port Macquarie. We're now at Port Macquarie Golf Course and right near the water here too.
Yeah, mate, this is a great spot. Yeah, I think it was. This is probably one of the best moves I ever made, and it wasn't on a footy field.
I think the Rabbitoh's first win at the footy stadium was in 1988, and you passed me the ball for the winning try.
Yeah, I think I did. Come on as a replacement in the second half at half time. I think me and Bronco come on as replacements in the second half back in the day of 4 replacement rules, and I think I either passed the ball to Bronco or he's passed it to me, and then yeah, you've scored in the try, pushing Gilmeister out of the way. So
yeah, I remember that one, and you've scored some memorable tries. I think one at Lycode Oval comes to mind where you took the tap and run straight over Paul Sirenin.
Hey, that was probably my favourite all-time try. You know, like Ciro had been giving me a hard time throughout that game, calling me a few choice little words, and yeah, to push him. But when I look at the video of it, I took Ciro over the line with me. I took Blocker Roach over the line with me. And I took Benny Elias. So that was
3 of the greats.
Mate, you know that, like, if a bloke wants to get a big head, it's for doing something like that, taking 3 of them blokes out, especially Ciro. Like, as again, Ciro had been giving me a hard time throughout the game. So
yeah,
to run straight at him from 10 yards out and knock him out of the way. And
one of the world's biggest humans.
As well. The other bloke next to him, Steve Roach, wasn't too small.
He wasn't small. He wasn't small. So you've been up here at Port Macquarie for 23 years, and you're telling me you got 3 kids, 5 grandkids?
Yeah, 3 sons. We moved up here for a better lifestyle for them. As soon as they were old enough, they all moved back to Sydney. But yeah, I got 5 beautiful grandkids, 3 granddaughters and 2 grandsons. They're you don't realise how much you love someone until you've got grandkids. It's a completely different love that you've got for your own kids. Yeah, it's just it's what life's all about as far as I'm concerned now.
And what are you doing? You're driving trucks up here, are you?
Yeah, I'm delivering for a company called Our Town Fencing. Cruisy job, just delivering fences. Go up as far as Nambucca, up to Greg's country. Not Nambucca, Maxville.
Maxville, yeah.
Yeah, and down as far as Nabiac, down on the highway. So it's pretty cruisy. Everything is put on by a forklift, and I take it all off by crane.
Yep.
Very rare I got to handle anything. So
beautiful.
It's Longbottom and Glory, and that's me playing number 764. And
yep.
And I got this tattoo. And my cousin George, he played in the '83 reserve grade grand final. He's seen my one and went out and got one exactly the same. he changed the number naturally, but yeah, he got one the same as mine. Good on you, Georgie.
Yeah, and look, the Longbottom name, it's steeped in rugby league tradition, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like Kevin Longbottom, probably the most famous of all of us. And you know, I feel honoured when I'm put in the same sentence as Kevin Longbottom. When people mention my name and Kevin Longbottom's name in the same sentence, as a young bloke growing up in Lapa, Uncle Lummy was a bloke that we all looked up to. And to be mentioned in the same breath as him is a good thing. And George is his nephew. George's father is Lummy's brother. And Graham Lyons also, even though he's Cliffy Lyons' first cousin, their fathers are brothers. His mother's a Longbottom, so you know he's got the gene running through him. And also young Josh Cook, that's now playing with Canterbury.
Yep. He's
my nephew. Yes. Hopefully young Josh will be able to kick a goal at Canterbury. I think Canterbury's gain is really South's loss. I don't think South should have let him go. But yeah. So
shame,
there's a lot of good blood running around through South Sydney and now Canterbury, and also South Juniors. There's a lot of good young footballers, I believe, running around in there. So
lovely touch, mate.
Yeah, young Bowl. He president of the Laparoos Football Club. He's been doing that for a few years now. Mate, he's got a lot of willpower, old Anthony. He give up drinking. He hasn't had a drink for over 5 years. I applaud him for that. I think it's a great effort for him to give it up. I know he sort of had no choice. He made a bit of a pig of himself some nights, but you know he swears off it now, and I know I'm his older brother, and he even has a go at me for having a beer every now and then. So him and Adrian Hansen run a pretty tight ship out there. They look after the kids and everyone, and now they've got David's wife, Cherie. She's the I think she's the secretary out there now. So she's pretty good with the funds, and I know they've got a lot of sponsors, and they're well looked after, La Perouse United Footy Club. But I think they've got 3 good people running the club now. So
Yep.
So they're heading well. I'd love to see them get an A grade side back up and running, not get out of this A reserves. I don't believe in that. I think they should be, if they're going to have a side, it should be in the main A grade group.
Did you ever win an A grade with Lapa?
No, I didn't. I never ever won a grand final with Lapa. Played in quite a few. I'd hate to think how many grand finals I played in.
Who used to beat you?
Mascot. Waterloo beat us one year when we were 15. They beat us 3-2. They scored with 15 seconds to go.
No.
We kicked a penalty goal in the first 5 minutes, and then 15 seconds to go, they scored a try.
Gee.
So we had no comeback to that game. Unfortunately, Big Rossi Harrington got sent off in that game, and that's where they got us. They got us out wide. Me and Roscoe were in the centres, and
that is a big loss for any team.
Yeah. But Roscoe was built the same way back then as he was when Gary Worth tried to tackle him head on. So and Waterloo just got us throwing the ball out the back line. They got the overlap and scored in the corner, and the rest they say is history. But yeah, look, I played in quite a few grand finals. I played 2 years with Kenzo and played in 2 grand finals with Kenzo. Won one, lost one, and
there you go.
Played a year with Mascot, played in the grand final with them, and played a year with Moore Park and got beaten in the final to go into the grand final. So been pretty lucky when it comes to playing on the old Redfern Oval. I got to play a lot of games there. I love that ground.
Yeah, me too.
Beautiful.
Thanks for the game, mate.
Thanks, Maverick.
Enjoyed it.
Mate, I've had a ball. Thank you.